Hey there, I'm Ashley and I'm a proud mama of two beautiful kiddos, a wife, a health and wellness coach, and a middle and high school shop teacher.
Hi, I'm Roberta, mama, wife, educator. I'm an entrepreneur and homeschool mom navigating the work, family, social life balance.
Together, we will discuss various topics near and dear to our hearts for teachers and mamas, like routines, health, habits, self-care, and so much more. Living a healthy lifestyle is for everyone from young children to adults. Health, wellness, and emotional and social well-being starts at home and should be expanded upon in the classroom.
Everyone can benefit from the Teacher Mamas podcast. So if you're ready to learn some helpful tips, let's do this thing. Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 73 of the Teacher Mamas podcast. Today, we're talking about a yearly and then possibly a monthly strategy that we use to take control of our time. And so the beginning of the year here, January, the end of December, but really any time is a great time to get started, but we can feel really motivated in January to complete a yearly calendar audit. So we're going to talk about what is a calendar audit, how we use a calendar audit, and then how to also maybe even use it as a monthly strategy instead of one big, huge yearly project, breaking it up into months. So super cool thing is what we talk about today. We have a freebie, but it'll be in the show notes. So easy place to find it. It'll be in the show notes. We have a free calendar audit printable. So all you have to do is type in your email and you'll get the printable to your email. And there's two versions, which I'm super proud of and excited about. The one version that is just a normal printable, you print it out and write on it, normal printable. The other is a digital version, which can be used in a PDF editor like GoodNotes or Evernote. And that's really fun. And I figured out how to make for those of you who know GoodNotes, you know what I'm talking about. They have the links in there. So if you click on January, it'll send you to the January page, or there's a little home button whatever page you're on, and you click the home button and it'll bring you back to the front page. So those of you who understand GoodNotes know what that is, and those of you that don't, it's a really cool thing, and it should work on any PDF editor software. So it's a fun thing. And then it's on the computer, which I really like because I tend to lose my papers. I'm much more organized on my computer than I am in real life. So for me, it's really nice to do that, and then I don't lose it, and I can reference back to the calendar audit throughout the year. So you can find that in the show notes, and it is completely free.
Look at you getting all fancy with your digital links and everything. I didn't even know you did that yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one because I'm the same. I lose my papers too.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Not gonna lie. And now I'm like, ooh, what else can I do with this newfound knowledge? So I guess that's kind of what I'm grateful for. We could start that off. I'm grateful for figuring that out and figuring out a system that I'm not going to lose my calendar audit every year. I have a place that I'll be able to keep it and I won't lose it. So that's what I'm grateful for. What are you grateful for, Ashley?
I had like a super long running list because this was like a rough week, and I started the week out like super rough, and somebody had mentioned that there was something like weird in the atmosphere going on, throwing off people's routines. I don't remember what the heck she called it, but as she was describing it, I was like, oh my gosh, that was me. You literally just described me at the beginning of the week, and like I had a lot of negative self-talk, which rarely ever happens with me ever. And it's a lot of it I know has to do with we're after the Christmas season. It's January now. It's cold and gross out, and it just makes me mad. So, anyways, it was really off at the beginning of the week. And I am grateful that I was able to turn it around quite quickly. Whereas in years past, before all the self-care stuff that we've learned in the past couple of years, I may have been stuck in it for a really long time. And I'm grateful that I turned it around. And Roberta and I had a really awesome live webinar for our course launch on Thursday. And that went super, super good. And I'm very, very excited about it. That's what I'm grateful for. Let's get right into it. We kind of wanted to try and keep this pretty short for you guys because you can just go right into our printable from here and just get to work. So, how do we use the calendar audit? Like Roberta said, you can do this yearly, or you can kind of schedule in a day each month, either by yourself or if you have a husband or a wife, and you want to include them. This is something really cool that you can get them included on as well, so that you can figure out what is valuable for your entire family and not just for you. And so the calendar audit is just that. You're going through your calendar and you're figuring out what worked well for you and your family and what didn't work well, and maybe some things that you would like to add in for this coming year, and things that you would like to subtract because you were just like super stressed from them, or they just didn't bring you joy, or anything like that. A really cool thing that Roberta and I started doing, I think it was last year we started doing this, was we started also going through our pictures, and I think Roberta goes through her journals as well. I don't go through my journals because I'm so like pretty detailed in my calendar, and I put so many things in my calendar that I feel like that's enough for me. But that is something that you can do as well. So, like I said, you can do this yearly or you can do it monthly. I started last year, of course, I did really good like the first half of the year. And then you get to that like halfway point and then you kind of start falling off of things. But it's not a big deal because I at least have half of my year done, which was the beginning part of my year, which is the harder part to remember everything because it was so long ago. So I am, I still haven't, I just got done telling Roberta this. I still have not sat down with Matt, my husband, to do our full calendar audit yet for the year. We're in like the middle of January right now. So I was like, okay, this is going to be the episode that kicks me in the butt to finally get it done because it is really important to us that we do it. We did it last year together and it was super great for our family. So you can do it like just schedule in, I don't know, maybe if you want to sit down and do like a big long block, you could do that. Or you could just schedule in like 20 minutes a day and try to get like a month done for like 12 days or something like that. If you don't have like a huge chunk of time to sit down and do it. So I think that's probably what we'll end up doing because trying to sit down and fit it all in, both of us are super busy right now. So we'll probably kind of chunk it out like that. So let's back up to some of the questions that we ask you in the calendar audits to make sure that you're doing it so that it's valuable for you. So the first one is, what was a valuable use of my time and energy, or my family's use of time and energy? So for example, maybe thinking back, we try and tell you to start with you can do it either way. You could go back to January and work your way up that way, or you could start with December 2022 and work your way backwards. However it works best for your brain, doesn't matter. But so for example, if you're thinking about like Christmas that just happened, it can be a really crazy time of year. So, what was a valuable use of your time during the month of December, and energy, or a valuable use of your family's energy and time? And then what were some things that maybe really stressed you out and it was not worth it? So maybe you loved this gingerbread house decorating thing that you did. It was super fun for your family to do it. You got to get around other families and do that. And then maybe another on the flip side, you were like in charge of a secret Santa thing that took up way too much of your time. It really was not valuable for you. And so like that's what the kind of things that we're talking about. And like in our printable, we have it, and I say we as in like Roberta did this really awesome printable for you guys. So she has it sectioned out into columns. And so you can, these are separate. So there's like a separate, this was a good use of my time, this was not. And then also, is this something that you could let go of next year? And I think that was a totally separate column, right, Roberta?
Yeah, I have a little column right next to it, like it's smaller, so you can just put like a check mark. If it's something you can let go of, put a check mark. And if you need to journal on like how you can let it go, do that. Like one of the examples I had in December for that was we ended up just like all of our physicals and a bunch of doctor's appointments ended up in December. And they were a lot of like well child checkup type things that how they all ended up getting put and planned in December is beyond me, but this calendar audit gave me a moment to think, and like that was super stressful to add these doctor's appointments that really weren't emergency doctor's appointments. They were appointments that could happen at any point throughout the year, and for whatever reason it happened in December. So it gave me time to think and check, like, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen next year, because it was too much to have them in December on top of all of the gatherings, on top of all of the other things that happened in December. That was just too much. So it was not a valuable use of our energy. Obviously, those doctor's appointments still need to happen, just not in December. So that gave me time to think about that. And then I can write it down to schedule it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, I love that. What Roberta did is she's got a page for each month with those questions on it, a little check mark, like, can you move it or could you get rid of it completely? And then we also want to think about, what do you want to add back into whatever month you're working on? Or add in or add back in, maybe that you used to do that you loved doing. Like, for example, maybe one of your goals this year is to go on a really awesome family vacation or multiple mini family vacations. So where are you going to fit that in? And then how can you maybe plan that out in your financials so that you're not super stressed about money when that pops up? That's something that we're working on. So, make sure that you add those things in that are going to bring you joy, that are going to bring you that energy, so that you can make it through the month and thrive and not just feel like you're surviving through the year. That's like kind of our whole big reason for doing this. So think about those months where you're like super energy depleted and like, okay, maybe these are the months that I need. Like right now, January for me is super depleting because it's just like blah winter time. So I like haven't been intentionally adding things in. Like we're doing a girls' day on Sunday because I'm like, I just need to add in more fun in the month of January so I don't start getting my like seasonal affective disorder, depression stuff that comes in. And then I did like a really fun Super Saturday weekend with one of my coaches last weekend. So I'm intentionally adding more fun things in the month of January and February to try and give myself something to look forward to. And then when springtime comes, I'm going to have to back off on that stuff a little bit because I know we're going to have like lots of yard work to do and like that kind of stuff. So, so yeah, this is like super awesome to do for your entire year. But like I said, if you can't get it all done in one chunk it out over multiple days. What do you need? Really quickly, we'll just touch on this one more time. You will need your calendar. So whatever your family uses for your calendar, I use just like my regular Google Calendar for pretty much everything. And then any journals. If you journal a lot and you have a lot of details in there that you know might help you, you can pull those out. And then pictures. Okay, so this is super fun because it reminds you to take pictures throughout the year for your family, for you. And then what I do, I'm pretty much caught up on my monthly albums. But what I do is as like the month goes on, or if I feel like I have a couple minutes here and there, I will take all my pictures, and it kind of helps you keep your phone cleaned out too. And I will put them all in a month specific album. So I have one for January, one for February. And then we like to go back through it at the end of the year and just like remind ourselves, hey, what did we do during these months that was super fun? What do we want to do again? Oh, that really wasn't very fun. We're going to take that out, you know? And so it also helps remind me to take pictures. I've been really terrible these last few months at taking pictures. So this is going to be a good reminder again for me in January, like, hey, start taking more pictures again. And then what this sparked last year was I made we did a really awesome summer trip to Florida 2 summers ago. And we went to Disney World. We visited my friend down there from Alaska. We visited my cousins. And so it was like a 2 week road trip, and it was the most fun thing ever. And so I made an entire picture album for my kid's birthday because their birthdays are in February and March. So I made an entire picture album just of that one trip. And then I also made an entire picture album of our year. So I had 2 picture albums to give them. They love them, they look at them all the time. That way, it's not like they have to go into your phone to look at pictures, because I don't usually just like open my phone and look up pictures, like I take the pictures and then I forget about them for a really long period of time. So this is just a really good way to keep the memories out in the open, and just like a fun reminder of like how your year went, what you can do this year to make it fun again, and all that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of like a little extra bonus, making picture books if you want to.
Yeah, I love that. I did that this year as well and ended up giving it as a gift to my grandma. And so it was a lot of like pictures of the kids and different milestones that happened. And I definitely noticed I didn't take very many pictures at the beginning of last year. Um, it wasn't until like I got my new phone this year and then I started taking pictures again. But yeah, so what something I'm gonna start doing, I think, to keep this in the front of my mind, because I did a calendar audit last year, but like I said, I lost it because I did it on paper. I have no idea where it is. So it wasn't super helpful. And I also,
Oh no.
yeah, I don't know. Last year, I ended up going through a bunch of different calendars trying to find a calendar that works for me. And I finally have found one from Hustle Sanely, and I use their digital product partially because their paper product sold out. So I have it on my calendar, and I'm signed up for the email list. So as soon as those calendars come out, probably in October, I'll remember to like be right on it and get my 2024 or 20, right? Yeah, 2024 calendar because they sell out super quick. So right now I have the digital version, which actually works really well because it's I use GoodNotes, so I can use it on my phone and my computer and my iPad. And so it's just everywhere, wherever I need it, and I don't have to lug around a calendar, and it works. But um, and my calendar audit's also in GoodNotes, so on the app. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have like a monthly meeting with myself and maybe with Derek and go over like what went well this month, what didn't, like kind of all the questions, right? But then also go over any goals that we had for the month and what goals do we want for the next month. Um, and I think that'll help because we talked about this year, like December just happened so quickly, and there were so many things, so many like traditions that we both love, but all of a sudden the month was over and it was too late and we didn't do them. So that was a good conversation. And so what I want to be able to do is, for example, at the end of January, I want to look at my current January and do the calendar audit for January of 2023 and go over all of that. But then I want to look at my February of 2022 and take note of what did I want to make sure happened in February this year and plan that in. So kind of taking just, I don't know, 20 minutes one day at the end of each month and looking through that.
Yeah, and that's what I started doing last year, and I just need like to remember halfway through the year, hey, this is actually super helpful. So just like scheduling it in, just like an
Mhm.
appointment at the end of every month, and then it'll get done. So I love that.
Yes, exactly. Scheduling it in because otherwise I know it won't happen. I'm thinking maybe like the 28th of every month because then every month is accounted for.
Mhm.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah,
I don't know that we have anything else to tell them, do we?
I
I
don't
feel
think
like that's
so.
probably it, and they can probably just go sign up right for the freebie and just like start schedule it in like right now. Here's your action step. Go sign
Yeah,
up for the freebie. and then schedule it in either with yourself or with your partner and do it, because
Yep.
you're going to love it. This is not just for teachers. This is literally for everybody.
Agreed. Yeah, it's so helpful, and make sure those fun traditions don't get lost, or, it really does make you stop and think
Mhm.
about the things that don't serve you and come up with a plan to move them or change them or get rid of them. And it's been, I don't know, a huge life changer. So go sign up for that freebie.
Well, we are so grateful for you guys. Thanks for listening in today, and we hope you have a great rest of your week.
We want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to us chat about healthy family living. We would love to hear your thoughts or any ideas you have for future episodes, so feel free to message us at theteachermamaspodcast@gmail.com or the Teacher Mamas Podcast on Instagram. It would also mean so much to us if you would leave a quick rating or review on whatever platform you're listening from.
If something really stood out to you today, don't forget to share it with someone else in your life that might need to hear it too. Spread the word. Please don't forget to share with your online community and tag us. For more positivity and inspiration on how we navigate life and the things we do on a daily basis to stay sane in the crazy, don't forget to go follow each of us on Instagram. Check the show notes for our handles.